Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 elites of 2024. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm going over my top 10 favorite elites of the year 2024, and honestly, it was really hard for me to go through this, and I didn't pick up every single elite, so I'm going through the favorites that I did pick up. There's definitely some that I could argue onto my list, and like something that comes to mind is the Harlem Heat figures from the Monday Night Wars series. I thought those were really nice. I thought those were awesome figures. I easily could put them in my top 10, but I honestly like the originals in the red attire. I like the red a little bit more, and while we've got the upgraded parts and everything on the new ones, I still like the old ones the most. So I didn't want to put them on here. You know, I have different reasons for everything. These are my honorable mentions right here. So we've got the Legends Anvil from Legends Series 24. We've got Pretty Deadly from Elite 110. The Razor Ramon from the Monday Night Wars set. With him, he was like my first one out in the top 10. I really like that Razor. The soft goods vest I think looks really good. I love that head sculpt he has, and then just like everything else I do like. It's just that without the vest, the yellow is just kind of plain. It's just two colors. There's not a lot to it, and we've gotten a lot of Razors, so I didn't put him in my top 10. That Ricochet I think is awesome. I know some people didn't like his shorter legs, which I understand. They're smaller, but I felt like that represented his height a little bit better. And then of course he has a short kick pad, so like that plays into it too. And then next we had the Elite Legends, what series were 23, Rosie and Jamal 3-minute warning. And really my biggest issue with them was how small their feet are. I thought these were awesome figures. They had some new sculpting on them. They got the awesome soft goods and everything. So really nice figures. Just the small feet were a big hang up for me. And then the Monday Night Wars Austin. So I did just get the most recent Austin with the black shorts, and that one might be a little bit better, but I have Austin in shorts. I don't have Austin in his hunter gear from Raw. So I really like that one. I just wasn't gonna put it in my top 10. I really would like a wash or something on the jeans instead of just the plain blue. But that is my honorable mention, so it's time to get to number 10. Okay, so number 10 on my top 10 elites of the year is going to be the LWO 5-pack Santos Escobar. I really like this update from his original elite figure. This was in the Mattel Creations 5-pack that we got, and honestly I really liked that whole set. I just thought the Santos was like really stood out amongst those. I liked that everyone in that 5-pack had special, like a design to their shirt. It wasn't all just the same sleeveless shirt. They all had like the proper cut to how they wear it, and Santos got his. We've got all of the arm tattoos. He's got the long hair instead of the ponytail. Just everything about this I was really happy with. So he does edge out that Razor, like I was saying. The gold boots and everything, the LWO look, even though they'd broken up by the time that we got this set, felt like we waited forever for it. But number 10 for me was Santos Escobar. Next up for me at number 9 on the list is going to be the Legend Series 24 Kurt Angle, and this one honestly wasn't anything real new from what we'd gotten from Kurt before. Same formula, no pinless legs or anything. I do believe his entrance greats figure had normal arms. It did not have double jointed. And then I don't know if we got another Attitude Era Kurt. We did get his Ultimate Edition, which I like this way more than the Ultimate. We got the cloth goods on that. This one is just exactly what I want for a Kurt Angle. The double jointed arms and true effects on the head are a plus, but I think this formula works for him. I originally wanted like the smaller, a little bit smaller build like Bret Hart's, but this has grown on me. I do like it. He is on ball joints now instead of the ratchet joints like in the original Elite formula of him. And this is just a cool design for his singlet. I could just get a bunch of Kurts. I could get a 5-pack of just Kurt Angles with a bunch of different singlets, some swappable heads. We are getting, I don't remember if it was in the Legends line, but we are going to get the bald Kurt Angle with the headgear with his toupee stuck to it. So that one is probably gonna like blow this out of the water. But I really like this Kurt Angle. As soon as I picked it up, it did come with gold medals and a shirt, but I have him posed on the shelf just like this. I think it looks fantastic, and that's why he is number 9 for me on the list. Next up for me at number 8 is actually going to be the Sultan from Legend Series 22, and this one blew my mind. Just seeing the render for it, I was really excited. I actually had planned to make a custom of the Sultan because I never expected us to get this from Mattel. We've gotten Rikishi, and we're gonna get the like make a change version of him, which I think was after this gimmick. I believe it was after this gimmick, which was a little more true to his Rikishi character. But this is one I didn't expect to get, and Mattel probably didn't expect to make it again, and I feel like they really went all out. I think the cloth goods cape looks really nice. The headgear fits on him well. It's got a little spot in there, so that it fits on his ponytail on the top of his head. He got a special mold for his for his torso and pants and everything. Just a lot of one-off stuff for this Legends figure, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. Maybe it might have been a little higher. I wish he had some bigger arms. He's got like the same size arms as Kevin Owens, and they seem to vary a lot on the size of Rikishi. Like his Head Shrinkers figure, his Rikishi figure, and then the Sultan figure all have pretty different sizes. Like that, the Head Shrinkers figure is just real skinny. So I mean, you could debate the size and everything, but all of that to the side, I think this Sultan figure is awesome. I'd love to get some more new gen stuff like this, and this was Legends 22 Sultan at number 8. Next up for me at number 7 is going to be the SummerSlam Elite Lex Luger, and this one is another one that I just felt like they knocked out of the park. The only thing that I really have an issue with is the hair. I wish there was a little more to it. His other Elite in his attire from, I think it's WrestleMania 10, that's in like red, white, and blue attire as well, doesn't have as much detail to it necessarily, and that one does have a head sculpt that's got a little bit of dry brush on it, so the hair looks better, but that's just being picky with this one. I think this one looks really good. I did go back and look at the SummerSlam event to see how it compared, and I thought it looked really good next to it. The hair, like I said, I wish there was a little more paint to it, but the likeness of his face I think is spot on, and this is my favorite Lex Luger in my collection. I am really excited about the Ultimate Edition of him in the WCW in his just black tights and white boots. I think the head sculpts for that and everything look amazing, but that's an Ultimate Edition and it's coming in 2025, so obviously not making this list. I just thought they nailed this figure. From that SummerSlam set, this was the one that I wanted the most. Like, I didn't want to miss out on this one. The other ones were all pretty decent, and Mattel's had plenty of decent things for the year, but this was one that absolutely had to make my top 10. Alright, as we near the halfway point of the countdown here, we have number 6, and that is going to be the Elite 113. I think it is. Dragon Lee. I couldn't remember if it was 13 or 14. But this was a late entrant. I just got this figure. I tried to wait as long as I could to do my top 10 for 2024. And this one is one of the last Elites. I did get the whole Elite 113 set. So I had my issues with some of those figures, but this was not one of them. I really like the formula they gave him. He's got the bigger double jointed arms, so these are on some other figures like Tommaso Ciampa as well, but they made them a little bigger, and I think those look much better, much more proportionate. The legs on him keep him in scale, but they're a little bit bigger. They're not like the Johnny Gargano or Daniel Bryan size legs that we've seen. And then he's got the Sin Cara torso, which I feel like is always kind of a cop-out with the Latino wrestlers, with the luchadors. Like, besides AJ Styles, who they finally gave that to, it seems like that's the only people they use it for. So that one, it doesn't bother me. I think it's a good torso. I think they should use it more, but it is kind of a weird thing that they only typically use it for luchadors, mascots, Latino wrestlers. But then the rubber jacket, I don't have an issue with. I know some people really don't like rubber clothing, but I think it looks really good. It captures the detail and the feathers and everything in it. It has the texture like in the bottom on the red down here and the buttons. I think it looks really good, and I don't need to do a lot of posing in the jacket. You can bend the arms if you want to. It's like the softer rubber. But again, like, it's not something that bothers me that much. And then the boots, I think, look fantastic. I will probably get a second Dragon Lee to give these boots to my Roosh custom and finish that one off. But all in all, I think this is a really nice figure, and that's why he's number 6 on the list. So we are in the top 5 now, and this is one that I mentioned, I don't remember, I think it might have been on Instagram with Willie, who comments a lot, but I thought this Chelsea Green figure was awesome. I know some people had some issues with the head sculpt, but I think it looks really good. The hair, I'm trying to remember, I think it's a good sculpt. I think this hat is really nice. The mold for the knee pads, so they like molded the knee pads in there so they fit well inside her boots. Double jointed arm. She comes with the shush hand, like she's got the tattoo on her finger. I just thought they nailed this figure. I thought it looked good. The obviously, like, the cloth goods that come with her, I think are really nice. I thought they nailed this figure. That's kind of, obviously, it's my top 10. You guys know how many figures I have in my collection, and there's a lot. You can make arguments for a lot of different things, but this was one that, right when I picked it up, there's a chase version too, but I think I like this blue better. That I just thought this was about perfect. Maybe you can make a little bit better likeness. I don't really know what else you would do to make it better. I feel like they crushed it, and that's going to be the common theme for the rest of these, but this Chelsea Green was awesome, and it comes in at number 5. Next up at number 4, I feel like might be a surprise for some people, but I chose the Elite 114 Zoe Stark. I got this from Alex West. He did his review, and I think he's moving on from this one, the Tommaso Ciampa, and maybe Ilad Dragonov. But I almost always get first time in the line elites. So I was gonna get the Zoe Stark, and Alex was selling it for a pretty decent price. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, what the heck? I'll just grab this now instead of waiting on Ringside for Black Friday and everything. And I think they nailed this. The likeness, I think, is pretty good. The arms, they gave her the bigger arms. The attire, I think, looks good. The soft goods jacket, I thought, was really cool. I get this, and I feel like I don't need another Zoe Stark Elite. I feel like they did a really good job with this. You could maybe get like a pants version of her, but I really like that they gave her the larger arms, because I mean, she's fit. They could have easily given her the same size arms as the Chelsea Green that I just showed, but they did put that in there, and I appreciate that. She's got her knee brace, and that women's knee brace fits really well. I like the mold for that and everything, and she doesn't have basic ankles like we've seen with some women's elites, and it's gotten better. Like Bailey is one of the main culprits where they use the basic articulation. She's got like updated kick pads with that new kind of like deeper rocker in the foot like we're seeing with some of the other elites, but I just think they knocked this one out of the park, and it was a surprise to me. So number 4, Zoe Stark. Next up at number 3 is going to be the Elite Legends, or not Elite Legends, Elite 108, Terry Gordy. And this is one that I was surprised they announced. I want to have a set of the fabulous Freebirds, and we've gotten Michael Hayes, but he has always been around WWE. He made appearances in the Attitude Era, and Terry Gordy, even his picture on his box has him holding the UWF title. And a lot of his accomplishments are outside of WWE, so you never know like how well this figure's gonna do. I'm pretty sure it is pretty pricey on the secondary market right now. I got it off Ringside Collectibles when I ordered the From the Vault Undertaker with the bat wings. I wanted to get more than one figure, and this was a decent price at the time when I ordered. But the thing for me that really just like put this over the top was the Executioner outfit he came with. So this figure was very nostalgic for me. The first WWE wrestling figures I remember getting was a Bone Crunchers Buried Alive set, and it had Undertaker, Paul Bearer, Mankind, and the Executioner. And I had no clue who the Executioner was. I had him in my collection forever, and I still might have that Bone Cruncher. I got it for Undertaker and Mankind, and the Paul Bearer, I have that Paul Bearer still too. I might have the whole set around somewhere. But anyway, back to this Executioner. I thought it was awesome, and it made me laugh that this is what we got as a 2-in-1 figure. Of course, we're not going to get a solo release of the Executioner, and I don't know if we're going to get another Terry Gordy. And I just love that we've got swappable heads now, and they just decided to throw on some cloth goods pants and a cape and everything and give us this 2-in-1 figure. It's truly a 2-in-1. Like they nailed this, and like I said, it's very nostalgic. And really the only issue I had with this figure was the legs. Like I think the legs could have been a little bit bigger, but I felt like they did a good job with the torso and everything. And as far as like the other wrestlers from his era, I think it looks good next to them. So they tend to give all of them a little bit skinnier legs, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. But anyway, there is Terry Gordy at number 3 from Elite 108. Next up for me at number 2 is the Captain Lou Albano from Legend Series 22. So this was, according to Wrestling Figure Database, the first Legend Series of 2024. So just making the cut, but I did not forget about this. I really, really like this figure. Captain Lou was before my time. Everything I knew about him was just from like WWE documentaries and going back and watching old pay-per-views and seeing him. So I really didn't know a lot about him, but I knew enough about him and had the Jax figure of him. And I think the Jax figure had the like gold shirt, like a goldish stripes pattern shirt. Maybe that's what we got with the Superstar series too. But they still knocked this out of the park. Like I don't really have complaints about it. The head sculpt I think is really nice. I think they did a good job on the hair. Sometimes with like bigger curly hair, I feel like they don't always get it like size and scale wise, but I think this looks really good. The beard on him and the expression I think looks fantastic. And then of course he's got the soft goods t-shirt with the vest over it, and the vest fits well over it. It doesn't make the sleeves like right up too much. I think it looks really good. And then he's got his Adidas shoes that obviously can't be Adidas in the Mattel line, but I think they hit an absolute home run with this Captain Lou. Again, like I said with Zoe Stark, I don't think I need another Captain Lou. I have no doubt if they made I'm struggling here. If they made another Captain Lou, it would probably be fantastic, and I'd probably end up picking it up. But this one is perfect for me. So number 2 on the list, Captain Lou Albano. And lastly, my favorite Elite of 2024 was without a doubt the Elite 114 Ilad Dragonov. I think this figure is perfect. I love it. The difference in this from his first Elite, I think is really big. He has the upgraded arms, like I talked about, that are a little bit bigger. His legs, I think, work for him. You could give him bigger thighs, which you could for a lot of the guys, but I think like the calves fit well on him. He's got the updated ankle articulate, like he's got new boots on him. But what really does it for me is the soft goods robe and his expression. I just feel like they nailed it. Like it's perfect. I really like the soft goods robe, and that expression on his face for his entrance just looks so good to me. And just having him pose like this, this was another one, like I said, I got from Alex West, and I immediately was like, this is perfect. This is exact, like there's no doubt in my mind, this is Ilad Dragonov. Maybe his hair could be a little, like maybe a different shade, or there could be some more texture to it, but the face likeness and the true effects on the goatee, like I said, like I'm a sucker for some true effects and some facial hair, and they nailed it on this. He does come with other hands as well besides just these, but this is undoubted. Like this was the first one I put down on my list. Like I love this figure. I think they nailed it. It's really, like, honestly, it's a simple figure, but the cloth goods, everything, like I just said, really put it over the top. So that is number 20, or number 24. Number 1 on my list for the year was this Ilad Dragonov from Elite 114. So I think that'll be the last Elite set that we see for the year. I don't think 115 is going to be hitting. Mattel honestly has been awesome this year. I have recently, there's been a lot of quality control issues, so that's frustrating, because you want to buy these figures. They look great. If you were someone like me that started with bone crunchers, like I said, like the figures have come such a long way, and that was part of the reason I started collecting again. I saw like the Elite 33 Cesaro, maybe it was on 33. It was the one that came with the US title, and that was when I was like, man, these are a lot better than what I collected. And here we are now, and like I said, the figures are looking better, but quality control needs to get under control. Like it's not, there's so many things that people have been posting lately, and I don't know if it's just like they switched factories. I don't need to go on a long rant about that. We can save that for another day, like I want to with AEW. But all in all, it was an awesome year for Mattel. I'm going to do this with the Ultimate Editions. I'm not going to do it with basics. I don't collect enough basics. But definitely Ultimates. And then I did my top 60 of my own customs. So looking forward to 2025. We've got a lot scheduled for the channel. Hopefully some new stuff that you guys enjoy. But if you stuck around, if you've been here through all of 2024, if you were here in 2023, I think this is the second year. Like August would be my third year. I don't remember how long I've been doing this. I've been having a lot of fun, and I appreciate everyone's support, and I love chatting in the comments about some figures, dude. So if you made it, like I said, I appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Hope you have a great new year. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.